My name is Adam Leva. I'm the alcohol professor. I'm the founder of the International Beverage Competitions. I'm here at my 8th annual New York International Wine Competition. I also run liquor competitions in New York, Berlin, Melbourne, and Hong Kong. What's really unique about this competition is that all our judges are trade buyers. They're sommeliers, they're food and beverage managers, they work for hotels, they work for restaurants, they are the store buyers for some of the top wine stores here in the New York metropolitan area. They also work for distributors and importers. They're all buyers. They're no so-called experts, they buy for a living. And they're judging the wine by its category and by its price. So this way they're going to judge the wine as if they're going to buy the wine.
You know, I think that different competitions offer different things to the market, but I think this competition being exclusively made up of wine buyers in the New York, New Jersey area, it offers the judgment of 16 people who buy wine every day, who this is what we do for a living, and our work is judged by the market every day. If we make a mistake, it costs somebody money. And as I looked around the room, I realized that there's probably $50, $60 million a year worth of wine buyers in that room. That's a lot of expertise in one room. It's when you think about it that way, it's pretty nice to be in such company.
I am gonna actually go down after this with my notes because I found today about 15 wines that I really, really liked. And I'm gonna take a look at them and see what they're really costing and may actually be buying them for any of the consultant gigs that I have. It's a New York competition. Having a medal from a New York competition, I think it's a big, big deal of entering the market, and a lot of people know who are the faces of the competition. So I think that's something to talk about as a selling factor.
You have viable, employed buyers, not journalists, not someone just like opinion makers, decision makers, that are actually influence makers in front of like probably the best customers in the world. And regardless of what the scores you get from or the medals you get, you're getting us like focused and actually discussing the wine. We're not just working, being distracted with emails and phone calls and a rep or another customer or your coworker. Like we are sitting down, talking about your wine specifically. If you got good wine, you might as well do it. Seriously.
For a professional, I love it because it's concentrated and I even find it educational. Just like now, we're tasting a flight of Sauvignon Blanc. So how often do you get to sit down and taste 10 New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs all together in the same price level, which makes the category very even. So you can see the styles, if they progress or if they're the same, if everybody's following the same rules or breaking a little bit. So as I said, it's a good way as we're sharing our opinions with consumers to give them a different opinion of everything. What makes this Sauvignon Blanc at $10 different than the other Sauvignon Blanc that is $10 and another one next to it that is $10?
There were 2 surprises today, which were from British Columbia. One was a Pinot Gris and one was a Gewürztraminer, which we were all taken by surprise. And we were like, okay, we'll take this. I would drink this at home, and you sit there and you take a step back and you're like, wow, this is a really nice surprise. I think it's just a really good avenue of getting the name out there and getting the product out there. And I think it also helps too when you see the labels in the store, especially for the consumer. The somms, you always know, we know what's good and not, but I think for the consumer to have the label on the side of the bottle is super helpful because they say, look at it and say, oh, this is gold, or this is silver, this is double gold. Okay, so somebody's judged this and somebody's tasted it and, it's been put through a panel. So I think that does help, especially on a lesser known brand or region or even a grape variety.
As sommeliers, I think we're trained to taste wines on their standalone value. Is it a good quality wine and does it taste good? That's awesome. But another thing to really encounter is, yes, it tastes good, but can you sell it to a guest at the price point that it's given? And that's what's super important. So a lot of wines that we tasted that they were awesome wines, but just given their price point, you wouldn't really find a list, a place for them on the list. And then conversely, there were wines that we drank them and it's like, oh my gosh, this is such an amazing value. So kind of seeing that definitely has an impact on our score.